Welcome students. Today we are going to start with the another topic, that is connectionless transport. And this connectionless transport we used to call it as UDP because UDP support the connectionless transport. So let's move to the slide. So now what is the meaning of UDP? Many times we have discussed already in the previous classes. So UDP is nothing but your user datagram protocol. And what is going to happen in this, as it is a connection less transport, so you can find out any time any packets can roam and can reach in the destination path. So in that way all the packets will be in the out of order, and we can't get the track of all the packets those who are there. Okay, so in that case what will happen, we may lost our packets. So in that case what you are going to do is you have to be very careful while sending the packets. So there will be no frills, no bare bones internet transport protocols. We have the diagram. Let's see the diagram also, how it is working out and all. So as it is a connection less transport, so what will happen, there will be no handshaking signal is going to be established in between your UDP sender and UDP receiver. But what used to happen in your TCP, as it is a connection oriented protocol, so the handshaking signal has to be established in between your TCP sender and receiver. But in the UDP we are not going to have any kind of connections. The next thing you can see that each of the segment UDP segment will be handled independently of others. Everything is going to handle independently. So because as we don't have any connections, any number of your sender can send to the any number of receiver side. Okay, and one more thing also, as we don't have the any connection, so which can add your round trip time delay. Why it is happening round trip time delay? Because as we don't have any proper connection channel in between the sender and receiver, the packets will move all over the network and it will try to find out the shortest distance, and then when it will reach towards your receiver side, there will be definitely some round trip delay. If it will be finding the shortest route also, maybe sometimes if all the packets will move in the same channel or same route, then there will be the congestions. Okay, and through that also maybe sometimes it will take more time to reach, otherwise some packets will get lost also. And you can see that there will be very smaller header size. It won't have the header size because as we know that whenever we will send any kind of message, we have to follow the message format. So all the message format will have the header in that, but in the UDP the header size is very small because individually the packets will move from one place to another place. Okay, so these all are the some of the explanations about your UDP. Now you can see here how, where and all we are going to use this UDP. This UDP we can use for your streaming multimedia applications, which one will be having the loss tolerant. You know that like some of the streaming videos will be there where we don't need these TCP connections, UDP is fine. So that time we are going to use this multimedia applications. And also we are going to use in the DNS, SNMP and HTTP by 3. And the second point says that if reliable transfer needed over UDP, then we are going to utilize for the hypertext transfer protocol, that we are going to use if the UDP is going to support the reliable transfer. It means that if it will be error free, or if there will be data, like whatever the package we are sending, if it will be lost free, then we can have the HTTP to be used inside your UDP protocol. And also we are using this HTTP, then it will add the needed reliability at the application layer itself. It means that it will be, the packets will be very reliable, that things it is going to add in your application layer. And also it will add the congestion control at the application layer. There should not be any congestion, there should be a control over your congestions, that it is going to add in your application layer. Now here you can see this is one of your UDP, user datagram protocol. Which one is your name is like RFC 768. So here what it is going to do is just it is a format how it is going to send. Okay, this is a RFC 768. This is some of the data, name and date it is written, user datagram protocol. If some written things are there, some messages are there, the format, how the format is going to send. In UDP, we have to send the messages which will have the length of 32 bits. As it is providing 32 bits of data, that's why it will start from 0 to 31. So the first thing will be, I told in the last class, UDP will take, while sending the message, it will take only the source port address and the destination port address. So here the source port address, the length will be of 16 bits of data, and the destination port address will be another 16 bits of data. That's the reason, as you can see, I have given one scale here. The source port address will vary from 0 to 15 bits of data, and destination port address will vary from 16 to 31 bits of data. When the message will transfer, all the message will have some length. Then the next thing what will happen, if the message, as it is a connection-less protocol, anytime the message lost will be there. There will be the chance of message lost. So what we are going to do is, we are going to find out the checksum for that. How to find out the checksum? The internet checksum that we are going to see in the next slide. Then the data is going to be achieved and you can find the error-prone data. Moving towards your next slide, just we'll have an idea how we are going to use this transport layer in your any of the UDP usage. Here I have taken the example of SNMP, and this is nothing but, let's take it as your client side. This is your server side. As we know, all the layers, it will provide us the OSI layer, which will have the 5 layers. I told you the shortcuts to remember as ATNDP. This is nothing but your data link layer, ATNDP. So here application, transport, network, data link and physical layer. Same thing also will be there in your server side. And we know that always the application will move toward, will have the sockets. Here also, and in the server side also, the socket will be there. Why the sockets are there? I'm just repeating the line again, because whenever we want to establish any kind of connections, it has to be established through your sockets. So this yellow mark, whatever you can see, that is nothing but your sockets. So in your transport layer, we are going to use the protocol now, that is your user datagram protocol, nothing but UDP. So this is my internet or clouds. So here what you are going to do, we are going to send a message. So now we are going to check it out, the UDP sender actions. What kind of UDP sender actions will create? Okay. So now as we are going to send the message, first it will go through your application layer message. As it is a SNMP, so SNMP message is getting created. So it is going to move. Whenever SNMP message will move, it will create one small size of your header file. The header file will get attached with your message. This is my SNMP message and this is my headers. So this header will get attached with my SNMP message, and this total things is known as your UDP segment. Next, what is going to happen? It will join automatically and it will create the UDP segment. Next, what it is going to do? It will pass these things to your next layer. What is your next layer? That is your network layer. So here it will pass through towards your network layer or IP. Next, it is going to move and it will reach to your client side. Once it is reaching to your client side, we have to see now what is happening in your receiver side. So here, as you can see, it was reached in your physical layer. Directly it will go to your network layer because you don't have any work in your data link layer and physical layer. Once it will reach there in your network layer, next what it is going to do? It will have the segments. As it is a segment, completely UDP segment, it will reach to your transport layer. Next, what it is going to do? It is going to find out the checksum of your header value, that there is some errors are there or not. If any errors are there, we have to rectify the errors here itself. Next, what it is going to do, it will extract all these header files to send this message to your application layer. So before sending the message to your application layer, it is going to detach or it is going to extract your header file. Next, what it is going to do, it is going to use the demultiplex concept to get the message what actually has been written, because when it has sent from your sender side, it has been multiplexed. Now here it has to be demultiplexed via socket. It is going to reach in your application layer. In that way, we are going to send always a message from your sender side to receiver side. This one here you can see whatever the UDP segment we are sending as a header, what actually it will contain, what will be the format of that. As I told you, this one will have the 32 bits of data. The source port will have the 16 bits of data and the destination port will have the 16 bits of data. Always whenever the message will come, it will have the length. Okay, there will be the length. The length cannot be more than your 32 bits of data, then that will be your error. So when that from the source address or source port, when it will reach to your destination port, it has to check for your checksum, that if any error is there or not. Okay, that's the reason here I have kept a checksum. And here it is my application data, like my messages, everything will be there, which is going to be attached with all these things and going to be sent from your source side to your destination side. So here you can see I have whatever I have told you, I have marked it here. This is nothing but your length of the data, and all this length is going to be measured in the terms of your bytes. Okay, and it has to be included in your header parts. This is nothing but this is the message of your data, which is going to be attached with your header file, header UDP header, and going to be sent to your application layers. Now, next moving towards your UDP checksum, how we are going to detect the errors when we are going to transmit any of the message. Basically, what will happen is whenever we will transfer any of the message through the network or through the source to destination, due to some noise or due to some data violations, the message will get lost. Okay, we are going to calculate that kind of flipped data or flipped bits, whatever is present, whatever is creating the errors. So now what we are going to do is we are going to calculate or we are going to detect the errors or flipped bits. Whenever we'll detect the errors, the values will come in the terms of your bits. Okay, it can be your 1 or it can be your 0, because here always we will follow the binary values. What all are your binary values? That is your 1 and 0. So whenever this kind of errors we are going to calculate inside your transmitted segment, that time we have to calculate the errors in the term of your 1 and 0. That is a process. We will see how we are going to do it. Now you just without considering the binary numbers, let's now understand how actually in a number wise how we are going to get the errors. Now you just see the transmitted values. The first number, let's take it as your 5. This UDP checksum is very important. It can come for your 4 marks of question with any kind of values. Okay, it is very easy also to understand. Now the transmitted values, let's take it as your first number is 5. Second number will be your 6. Let's take the sum is your 11. We know that 5 plus 6, the sum will be 11. But what happened? So in your receiver side, while receiving, the first number instead of 5, it has been reached as 4, and the rest of the things are correct. But 4 plus 6 is not 11. So what will happen? In your receiver side, it will compute the addition value and it will find out that there is some checksum. It means there is some mistake is there. Here the checksum is coming around 10, but here it is 11. So there is a difference in between which is not equal. So how to find out now the errors? So here you can see that in your sender side, it will treat all the contents of UDP segment. Okay, whenever we are sending the UDP segment from your sender side, what it will contain? It will contain the UDP header plus the IP address. These two things it has to contain with your, and this length has to be your 16-bit of integer value, 16 bits of data. I told you that total sender and receiver is 32 bits. Sender is taking 16 bits, receiver is taking another 16 bits. When we are sending any message, it will contain two things, that is UDP header and IP address. So now UDP header and IP address, it has to be a sequence of 16-bit of data. Now what is that checksum now? When we are adding, we have to find out the ones complement of your addition value. Okay, whatever the UDP segment is containing, the message, when it will reach in your, when we are going to reach in your receiver side, that time we have to find out the ones complement of your addition value. Once you will find out your addition value, that things also you have to write as in the term of your UDP checksum field. You have to create this field and you have to add that value. So what will happen in your receiver side? It will compute that checksum whatever has been received. How it will compute? It will compute from your this value UDP checksum field. From this value only it will come to know that some error is there, and it is going to calculate from that value. Then what will happen? It will check that the computed checksum is equal to checksum field value or not. It means I'll just go back. This is my UDP segment, that checksum, it has been sent from your sender side. This has been received. So this checksum is not equal to this checksum. So that it is going to check it out here in the receiver side. If it is not equal, it means error is detected. If it is equal, then there is no error detected. But maybe there will be some error where which one we cannot find out. That we can see in the later stage how exact detection we can find out. This is everything is known as your internet checksum. Now here one example I have given. We know how to add the values. Okay, here one example is there where you are going to add the two 16-bit integers. This is suppose one of my example. It is not 5. Okay, this is just one example. This is my 16-bit of data. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, this is, let's take it as my sender side. This is another data. So when I will add the data, 0 plus 1 will be 1. 1 plus 0 will be 1. 1 plus 1 will be 10. So 0 will be here, 1 will go as your carry. So that time 1 plus 0 will be 1. So let's see whatever I told, it is correct or not. See here, 0 plus 1, 1 as a normal addition, whatever you know. But some of the students will not be knowing, so I am repeating this. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 10. So 0 is here, 1 is coming for your carry. That 1 plus 0 is 1. Similarly, you have to carry this. Okay, here you can see 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 0 is 1. 1 plus 1 is 10. 0 is here, 1 is here. 1 plus 1 is 10 plus 1 is 11. So you have to write here 11. Okay. Now next what is happening? As you know, this is my wraparound of data. It became 17 bits. I have to consider 16 bits of integer data. As I got a wraparound data, I have to add this one with this 16 bits of data. I have to add here. If I will add here, this one, okay, this one will be here. So 1 plus 1 will be 10. 0 is here, 1 is here. 1 plus 1 is 10. 0 is here, 1 is here. 1 plus 0 is 1. So 1. And other things will just come down. Once it will come down, this one I got as my sum of the data. Next, how to find out the checksum? You have to take the ones complement of your sum value. Ones complement means Wherever the 1 is there, you have to write 0. In place of your 0, you have to write 1. You see here, this is 1, so became 0. This is 0, it became 1. Similarly, it has to continue till all the 16 bits of data. So this way, this is just one example of your internet checksum. Let's move to your next slide. This is also one more example how the weak protection it is going on. This is also same thing. This is nothing but whatever I explained. It is like that only. So here what we are going to do, we have to see what actually in the checksum, how it is going to do. So in your checksum error detection scheme, the data has to be divided into k segments. I told you that whenever we are sending any message, the message and the UDP header, both the things will be known as your segments. So header plus message is equal to segments. And each segment will have the m bits of data, means 16 bits of data. It can be less also, but it cannot be more. In the sender's end, the segments are added using ones complement. I have shown you here. Here we are doing the ones complement. So in the sender side, you have to do the one segment of the arithmetic, whatever the summation value you got, you have to do the ones complement to find out your checksum values. Next, the checksum segment is sent along with the data segment. So whatever the checksum value you will get, along with that, the message, whatever you are going to attach, everything you are going to send it to your receiver side. At the receiver end, all the receiver segments are added using ones. So here what it is going to do is, it is going to check once again. And if then again it will check and again it will get the arithmetic sum. The sum again it has to be complemented. If the result will come 0, then the receiver will accept the data. Otherwise, again it will think that again some errors are there and it will discard. Let's have an example now. Here you can understand. So now this is second example. Let's take, this is my original data. It is not 16 bits of data. It is just 8 bits of data. I have just given the data values. Okay. This is my first this is my first packet, second packet, third packet, fourth packet. I told you here the UDP segments, the UDP segments has been divided into 4. Okay, 4. You can see 1, 2, 3, 4. This total is my UDP segment. How many bits of data I am going to send? The 8 bits of data. Whenever I will send the first packet, I have the length is 16, right? But what I am going to do? I am sending only 8 bits of data. Next, again I will send 8 bits of data. Again I will send in my segment 3, I will send the 8 bits of data. Similarly, you can send any number of UDP segment data to your receiver side. Now let's consider about a sender. So what is my first data packet? You can see 100110001. I have written the same thing here. 100110001. What is my second bits of data? This is my second bit of data. I have written here. What is my next step? What I have to do? I have to add this. So I have added here 1 plus 0, 1, 0 plus 1, 1, 0 plus 0, 0, 1 plus 0, 1, 1 plus 0, 1, 0 plus 1, 1, 0 plus 1, 1, 1 plus 1 is 10. So I am writing here 10. This is my wrap of data. So this wrap of data I have to add with this value only. So I have taken here and this value I have written here. So once I have written here, I have to add it once again. So 1 plus 1 is 10. 0 is here, 1 is carry. That 1 plus this 1 is 10. So 0 is here, 1 is here. 1 plus 0, 1. Then the rest of the values just it will come down. Next, my third segment, this is my data. I will add that data here. I will get the sum values. If there is no wrap of data, directly go for your fourth segment, add that. If you have wrap of data, you add that values in the similar way and do this. When I am adding the data here, I didn't get the sum value, any wrap of data. So I will add directly the fourth segment here. When I added, I got again some wrap of data. And what I did here, The same wrap-up data I started adding here. So when I added, I got some values. So this is my total sum values. How to find out the checksum? Do the ones complement of your sum values. When I did my ones complement, this is my error-free data. From my sender side, I have sent it to the receiver side. Here what happened? Here what is that? First value, second value. Correct? So now here again they are going to check it out. Fine. So here what is happening? The wrap-up data, add this. Then again they are adding no wrap-up data, add this. Fourth one, wrap-up data, add this. So when they are adding this value, they got this one 0 0 1 0 0 1 0 1. Okay, so till here they will stop. This is their sum value, right? So here whatever the checksum has come, what is the checksum value? 1 1 0 1 1 0 1 0. That they are going to add 1 1 0 1 1 0 1 0. They'll just add normal additions. The sum value came. Then they will do the complement. If the complement values came as 0, they will accept the data. If it will come as some values, if it will come not 0, then they will just discard the data. And they'll say that it is again some errors are there, we need to check it out. So in this way, the internet checksum used to work out. Now, what is the summary of your UDP? What the summary we got now? Here we got that should be no frills protocol. So segments may be lost. Whenever we are sending, here I have last slide, I have sent 4 segments. The segments may be lost. Okay. So what I will do when I have added in my sender side and sent to my receiver side, maybe one segment will be lost while reaching in the receiver side, and they will not add that values. That time they will get the errors. And best effort services send and hope for the best. They will just send it and they will hope that it will reach in your destination side. UDP has its pulses. What is that? No setup or handshaking signal. This is the plus values of this. They are not going to have any kind of setup values. It is not total required. It can function when the network service is compromised, or if you have network slow, if you have any kind of problem, it can work out with that. And it will help us with reliability. It will give us the checksum values. In this way, we are going to find out the checksum values. What is the last point? It will build some additional functionality on your UDP application layer. That is also known as your HTTP. And here it will it will send only the reliable data. So only the reliable data it is going to send here itself. So this is all about your UDP and internet checksum.